It has been a celebratory week for deacons at Woke United Methodist and their pretend friends in the mainstream media. First, we had the dual butt bongo festivals. We had the Grammys out on the West Coast and, well, whatever the hell that was we talked about this morning. The reunion of the nerds, the gathering of the weirdest people on the planet where cackling Cam Harris was replaced as the leader of the cackling choir by Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. If you have not watched the video on the channel from this morning, I believe the title was MSNBC blaming white men for Cam Harris being a loser. If you have not seen the video on the channel from this morning, I highly encourage you to check it out. This is not hyperbole. This is not satire. I am serious when I say this. These people are weird. These are not your neighbors. This is not JFK or Bill Clinton's Democratic Party. Don't take my word for it. Just go watch the video for yourself. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, the celebration of butt bongo that took place this past weekend, it has carried over into this week. Headline at The Hollywood Reporter: CNN and MSNBC showing signs of life in January. Signs of life? Signs of life. The only signs of life that I see at CNN are survivors frantically swimming away from the Titanic. The ladies at MSNBC, they can't even grow hair, much less grow their ratings. What the hell are we talking about? Signs of life. Headline at CNN. CNN ranked #1 digital news outlet in the United States. We are so back! Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes! What the hell does that even mean? What is a digital news outlet? Does that mean CNN is now competing with TMZ? Are they competing with Radar Online? Are they competing with the National Enquirer? If you went to the store recently looking for polish and they were out of stock, there is a reason for that. CNN bought every tube they had and they applied the polish to this turd of a press release. CNN is desperately trying to make themselves appear successful. They are desperately trying to polish the fact that the network is a huge embarrassing failure. The very first line of the press release: CNN continued to be a top destination for audiences on linear, digital, and streaming platforms. For starters, that is a lie. CNN has not been a top destination for audiences on television since Wolf Blitzer hit puberty. Woof, woof, woof. It never ceases to amaze me how the media tries to disguise their failure as a success. According to CNN, they achieved something called Top 5 Day on Max. Who cares? CNN's gotten so desperate. They are bragging about their proclivities with some doofus named Max. Don Lemon has been in Max's top 5 for decades, but I don't see him bragging about it. This is another classic case of the media serving you a shit sandwich. CNN is not necessarily lying. They did see growth in the ratings, but instead of comparing their January ratings to January of last year like everybody else, they compared the ratings to December, which is the slowest month of the year in cable news. But it doesn't matter how CNN tries to spin it. It doesn't matter how much polish they put on this turd. No amount of polish can disguise the truth. And the truth is, CNN still can't draw flies to a polished turd. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Angelic Imports. If you're anything like me, you have no idea that Valentine's Day is right around the corner. You know when I know it's Valentine's Day? When I wake up that morning and my wife says, "Happy Valentine's Day!" My day starts with panic as I spend the morning riding around the city looking for a gift. I don't have to panic or waste my time this year, though, because I have already ordered her Valentine's gift from Angelic Imports. Angelic Imports provides high-quality Gouffre chocolate that comes directly from the French, Swiss, and German border areas. I ordered my wife the Gouffre round, which includes 65 pieces for $40. But you can get the Gouffre Golden Secrets for less than $20, and it comes with 20 pieces. And this is not your gas station candy. This is some of the best chocolate that you'll ever taste. Do not get caught unprepared this Valentine's Day. Click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL10, BTL10. Save 10% off your first purchase with Angelic Imports. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Weren't we supposed to see a new and improved CNN? I seem to remember seeing reports after the inauguration about CNN President Mark Thompson demanding that his woke welfare collectors remain unbiased. Marky Mark, he was so serious about this directive that he fired James Acosta. Well, KC, that's not true. Jim Acosta quit. He could not work for an organization that chooses to ignore mythical racism. Yeah, if it makes his pretend friends and family feel better to say that Abilio quit, that's fine. That's fine. But those of us who prefer the truth, we know that James was fired. Mark Thompson, he promised to give us a new and improved CNN. It was the exact same promise that Chris Licht made a year before he was fired. When I heard these promises from Mark Thompson, I was expecting to see drastic changes. I was expecting to see people fired and replaced by actual stars who were capable of drawing an audience. When that didn't happen, I was at least expecting the unknowns who were responsible for sinking the Titanic to pretend that they were going to be unbiased. As predicted right here on the channel, that ain't happening. I told you guys that Mark Thompson's plan was going to end in huge embarrassing failure, and I'm about to show you why. Last night, Jasmine Crockett was on Laura Coates' primetime dump on CNN. Well, KC, who in the hell is Jazzy Coxman, and who in the hell is Larry Coates? Yeah, that's my bad. I forgot that when we're talking about CNN, I should properly introduce you to the unknowns that we're talking about. Laura the coat handler has two primary responsibilities at CNN. During the day, she works for tips at the front door collecting people's coats. At nighttime, she steers the Titanic directly into the iceberg by hosting a primetime dump that nobody is watching. Laura Coates has not eclipsed 500,000 viewers in over 3 months. Most nights, she's lucky to hit 300,000. Fortunately for Laura, Unrivaled is still airing on TNT, so at least 2 nights a week, she is guaranteed not to finish in last place. Jasmine Crockett is a congressional representative from Texas. She was born and raised in St. Louis, but she moved to Texas to work in Congress. Before accepting woke welfare from the government, she was a lawyer who accepted cases involving peaceful protesters from Black Lives Matter. Last night, Laura took Jasmine's coat and they prepared to entertain dozens of people. These lovely ladies, they were whining and complaining because the Trumper has essentially banned diversity, equity, and inclusion. Perhaps they are worried that without the luxury of DEI, they'll be out of a job. Jasmine Crockett, she wanted the Coates family to know, which is the only people watching the show, Jazzy wanted them to know that she is tired of what she is calling white tears. She is tired of the white man complaining about DEI. Watch for yourself.
I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel a way and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education.
Is it any wonder Why people aren't watching CNN? For starters, I have not seen any normal people crying over the elimination of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The only people I see crying about it are the wanker spankers. I see plenty of bearded beauties crying. I see the bald women on MSNBC whining about it. But I have yet to see one normal person crying over the death of DEI. This is why I did not believe Mark Thompson when he was talking about the new and improved CNN. Like I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, we have seen this movie before. We have seen this exact script. The only thing that's changed is the director. Mark Thompson is doing the same thing that Chris the Bongo Licker did. He lays off 200 people that were working behind the scenes. He sends out a press release promising that CNN will be unbiased. We are dedicated to hard news. Ooh, emphasis on the hard. Just like his predecessor, Mark Thompson, he tries to prove that CNN is changing by firing an old white guy. In this case, it was Abilio Acosta. 2 weeks later, CNN sends out another press release bragging about their newfound success, when the reality is, it's the same huge embarrassing failure. Apparently, I am not the only one who did not believe Mark Thompson. You didn't either. During the month of January, Fox News, they averaged almost 2 million viewers during the day. MSNBC averaged 506,000, CNN 421,000. Now, I'm no expert in math, but according to my calculations, in this 3-network race, CNN somehow managed to finish in 4th place. Primetime, Fox News, 2.8 million viewers. MSNBC, 734,000, which isn't anywhere close to what they were averaging before the election, which is probably why the media is comparing their ratings to December instead of comparing them to last year. Before the election, MSNBC was easily eclipsing 1 million viewers in prime time. Even though they're struggling, they are still beating CNN, who's averaging 522,000 viewers. There is no longer a competition in cable news. Fox News is in a class all their own. MSNBC is the first loser, and CNN, they're not even in the race. CNN is competing with the Cartoon Network. They are competing with reruns of ridiculousness on MTV. CNN is no longer a real competitor in cable news. And the thing is, I don't think they ever will be. I feel like this was CNN's final chance. This was their last opportunity to change. And instead of making major changes, Mark Thompson, he chose to make the same mistakes. Give me your thoughts on this. CNN ratings continue to plummet. To make matters worse, the new and improved CNN is the same old CNN. They're still talking about racism. They are still whining about the white man. I think the ratings that CNN's averaging today, I think this is as good as it's going to get. I think it could get a hell of a lot worse. What about you? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.